So I had a roofer reach out to me, but I didn't know he was a roofer at the beginning. When I first talked with him, I sent over the invoice. This was several months ago. I didn't know he was a roofer. I just was told, hey, bring it to this location. So my initial plan was to charge him the 1 day price. And when I showed up, I realized in talking with him, oh, it's a roof. It's a shingle job. There had been some damage weather-wise, and it was time to replace that roof. And so I then quickly realized, oh, okay, well, my pricing is different. I'm already here. I've already delivered the dumpster. As far as the actual dump fee for that type of a roof job, I charge that at the end when I actually get the ticket. It's one of those weird situations, scenarios that it caught me off guard. And so I didn't have his card on file. I changed the way I was going to do things. And that maybe is a clue, hey, this is a problem. There potentially could be more of a problem. This was several months ago, but I finally wanted to share this with you. The job was completed. I hauled away, I think it was over 4 tons worth of shingles, pretty decent roof. And I called him, I texted him, I sent over the invoice a couple times, and I got nothing back. And so right away I was like, oh dear. We're talking $400+ I think it was, maybe even more, that very first one. And so I was a little concerned, as you might be. Like, Daniel, you did it again. You did it again. Are you kidding me? Wow. Getting ghosted by a roofer. Awesome. And it was about 10 days, maybe close to 14 days. When I finally heard back from him, he reached out and said, hey, so sorry. I haven't gotten back with you, but there's been some problems. There's been some trouble. And I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, no kidding. Me too. This isn't cool, uh-oh. But, I was just like, so he had sent that through a text, and he said, could I call you? It's like, sure. I'd love to see what's going on, how we can get this figured out. And so he calls me and says, hey man, there was some trouble with the insurance. It was an insurance claim, of course, which I understand that's going to take some time, but it was an insurance job. There were some issues with the chimney. And so I don't know how all that stuff works, but evidently the insurance with the chimney, other people doing the chimney stuff, as well as the full roof payment was not released. And so he said, basically, I haven't gotten paid for the second half of it, which that's what I was planning on paying you with. And so as of, I think he said, tomorrow on that next day, I'll be getting paid and I will pay you immediately. I've just felt so bad that I haven't paid you that I didn't really want to talk to you. I was kind of scared of how you would react, if you'd be upset and be, whatever. And so I was honestly just nervous about how that would, happen, how that would work out. And so I said, man, listen, I understand, things happen. That's that situation, that's out of your control. I'm going to take your word for what it is, and we'll go from there. Can't go take back the past, but let's just keep me in communication. Let me know tomorrow. You can send over the invoice tomorrow again if you need to get it paid. And so, due to my response being kind of gracious in that way, he said, "Wow." And I'm summarizing, but he was like, "Wow, I was expecting you to rip off my head. Like, I was expecting you to be really, really upset." He had said, "I was willing to pay interest on that debt that I owed you because I just felt so bad." And he was like, "Man, you're so gracious with me and understanding. Like, dude, you've got," I think he said, "you've got a repeat customer for life," or words to that effect. Like, he wants to use me again and again after that. And so I said, "Well, dude, I understand. Things happen. The only thing that I ask going forward is that when things do happen, because they inevitably will, bad things happen, go figure. When they do, just communicate with me. If things go south, if you have issues, if there's a problem, if you anything like that, the trailer gets damaged, you name it. Just let me know. I want to be a problem solver, not adding to the problem. I want to be a part of the solution, not making a bad problem even worse. So you're not hopefully ever going to get that response from me where I'm gonna just, lash out. So we have since then, we've done probably 20, maybe more roofs after that first one. And I just got to tell you, I share all this to say that, first of all, what we say on the phone, how we respond to people when we hear things we don't like, regardless of they should have paid more at the front of the rental, they should have paid everything up front, should have had the card on file. At that time, my payment processing system, I could not have a card on file, and I didn't ask, and that it is what it is for me. I didn't ask for a card on file, and evidently, even if I had done that, I wouldn't have gotten paid. It would have bounced or been declined. I say all that to say that the way we respond to people, the way we treat people, it matters, and it shows greatly. I can just tell you now, after having lots of repeat business with this roofer, we have a great working relationship together, very great communication. I can just tell you, it's been an absolute pleasure working with him, because he's got the same mindset. He wants to be a good communicator. He had some troubles there, but we work really well together. My goal is to be a help. That's my whole agenda in life, is to be a helper to people and to take away their problems so that they can do what they need to do, so that we can all be effective and be profitable, hopefully, in our businesses. So that was one of the situations that came up earlier on this last year that was kind of a headache, kind of a confusing situation, and the way we respond to people, it's just huge. So whether you're in a situation like that, ideally try to have a card on file, ideally communicate beforehand so they know exactly what's going on. Have them prepay, a certain amount or something, whatever that looks like for you, do that. But I beg you, there's so many people out there who are not willing to give grace, to give understanding. And I know that leaves you potentially vulnerable in some areas. But when you do that, and it's not going to be every customer who's going to see the value in that, I get that. But there's going to be enough of them who see that and say, that's it. That's the person I want to work with. And that's, I'm sold. We're going to be in business together. We're going to be communicating well, from here on out. And so, anyways, hopefully this has helped to you, just thinking through these kind of situations. I know for me, it's scary stuff. I mean, it really is. I'm a one-man show. I'm learning and growing. It's just a process. But I can tell you, after 20 plus, it's probably more than 20 now, other roofs that we've done together, and he's paid every single time. And we communicate better and better as we learn and grow together as, kind of business partners in that sense. And so I would encourage you to give grace and be understanding and not rip people's heads off, because ripping somebody's head off is not going to get you paid a week earlier. It's only going to make things probably worse for the temporary short, near future. So anyway, just want to share that story with you. Hopefully you have a great day today, and stay safe, guys.